Sony, Fujifilm, Panasonic. And here is the new and the fresh value for me, can say about Canon R6 Mark II. How's it going, guys, and thank you for coming back to this channel again. So, come on, finally, me using Canon camera. Actually, I'm so pumped about this because I've never used a Canon camera, except I have this old Canon, dust DSLR, like that. But yeah, never used a Canon R series. Anyway, I have been using this Canon R6 Mark II for a while, for both of YouTube and client shooting works. And I am getting the vibe from this R6 Mark II gradually, and what I instantly thought is like, okay, this camera is totally different from Lumix and Sony in both of good and bad ways. I don't know how many of you guys are using Canon, but this video definitely will be so much fun to watch. So let's see what this Canon R6 Mark II can do together in this video. Okay, before you jump into this video, please hit the subscribe if you haven't to grow this channel. I need your support. Okay, first, let's see the overview of this camera. The JQ is showing you guys instead of me.
Alright, Ken. I'm honored nominated this mission. Canon R6 Mark II is 24 megapixel full-frame mirrorless camera. As you know, it's the Canon R series, which has a great hybrid performance. Photography. Well, who can beat Canon in that? Of course, this has legendary Canon's photography performance as well. But also video performance is fantastic, which I want to dive deep in today's video. By the way, my name is JQ. I was named that. Oh, I shouldn't have talked so much. Bye-bye, guys, just for a while.
Okay, now let's see the image quality. So now ISO 400, f1.8, 1/50 shutter speed, using this tube light. This is Canon depiction. いや、めっちゃいいな。こういうショットもあるんだけどね。リムだけみたいな。When I saw the footage from this camera for the first time, I believe it was the C-Log3, and I was like, oh my god. I've never seen like this before. Okay, like I said, I've never used the Canon R series and never color graded the C-Log footages, but as soon as I saw the footage from this camera, I immediately recognized, like, okay, this is Canon's image. I can't explain by exact word, but the image is so Canon. It's so deep. I think this depth is coming from the Canon's color science, I think. The skin tone is crazy pure. I mean, not only the skin tone, everything is super true to real life color. The light looks pretty good. Flowers, building, everything is so rich. You know, definitely it's super clean and sharp. But also there's kind of warm tone vibe. Not meaning not sharp. It's more like a color gradation is wealthy. I know Canon makes a great lenses, you know, RF and Canon EF, L lens. So they are probably related to this fantastic image quality. But anyway, the overall optic performance is speechless. You know, not only C-Log, just a standard color looks amazing. When it comes to this, the straight, pure color without any editing, I think Canon looks most natural. Speaking of the overall image quality, this R6 Mark II has a 6K oversampling 4K, which casually means you can have 6K data in the 4K package. So simply, it's gonna be better than normal 4K. So I don't know how much I should appreciate about this because 4K is already super sharp. But yeah, as you can see, it's super crispy, and when you crop the image, it still has a good detail. If you just use the image as is, you're not gonna get the 6K oversampling 4K benefits directly. But definitely you can get the extra focal length option. So next, let's see the video functions. This offers 4K 60 FPS slow motion, and the great thing is there is no crop. That's super amazing, right? Because in general, the camera can do 4K 60 FPS, but also it comes with 1.5 or 1.6 times crop, like Lumix and Sony. And another crazy thing is we can have 180 FPS in 1080p. That'd be a great option in sport shooting or some kind of running, jumping, a cool cinematic B-roll shot. And there is APS-C crop mode, so you can have extra reach when you don't have many lens options. Also, what I liked about this camera is that this got recording emphasis. While you are recording, the red lines show up so you can instantly know what you're doing. And this is crazy. R6 Mark II can do 6K 10-bit ProRes RAW and 3.7K 12-bit ProRes RAW by Atomos Ninja 5. And both can go up to 60 FPS. So I haven't used this feature yet, but the R6 Mark II is no joke. It can be legit a cinema camera. So R6 Mark II has a recording limit, 6 hours. Well, R6 Mark I was 30 minutes, so considering that, it evolved. But for example, Lumix S5IIX doesn't have a limit. So yeah, it's good, but it's not the best. But who keeps shooting continuously for 6 hours? So what do you think about that? I think this is pretty enough. So far, it's going super well. I thought Canon was more like a photography camera, but recent R series have fantastic video performance. What I'm gonna talk about next is the huge topic. I mean, I got a culture shock. Build quality and usability. But first, let's start from the good culture shock. So first of all, Canon, aka the best grip ever. Yeah, that's right. When I hold this grip, it immediately gives me the massive, secured feel. Come on. OMG. It's not just deep, it's also soft and warm. I guess that's because of the material or shape, but it's literally warm. I also love this curvy body. Who doesn't? So, buttons and dials. So they are very different from cameras I usually use, like Lumix S5IIX, Sony FX30. But actually, it doesn't feel that weird. You know, never had a R series in my life, but it feels kinda home. I think this is super easy to use for, you know, people who has never used cameras. It's so simple. But personally, I want to have more custom buttons for the fast control. Actually, there are a few function buttons like this AF area and this multi-function button quick mode selection, which you can customize in your own way. But I wanted to have more physical ways to control them. And I'm not still sure how to use this multi-function button. You know, when you press this AF area button, you have to control it by this multi-function button. Is this the only way? Or is there any way? I mean, you can touch it, but it's not that comfortable for me. But what I like about this build quality is this lock switch. You know, it locks the settings, so there is no risk of changing it while you are recording. And this photo video switch is nice too. But what I still can't get used to is the menu. You know what? The menu style is fine. Of course, different brands have different styles. I'm fine with that. But the way to control it, honestly, it sucks. You know, there is no right, left, up and down in this wheel. It just spins. That's it. You gotta use those dials to go to next page, next section, and up and down. You know, there is a joystick right here, and it moves free. So there is a solution. Why? Why this wheel? The menu itself is super simple and easy to use, but the operation is not. So, about the interface. This got a USB-C, micro HDMI, headphone, microphone, a remote shutter. Pretty average. But one thing I don't get is that, you know, this got a raw video recording function, right? But this has micro HDMI. You want me to use that function, or it's just there for showing off this ability? Okay, next let's see autofocus and image stabilization. Honestly, I had no idea how good and how bad Canon's autofocus is. Actually, it's good. There are several detection modes. For example, human eye tracking mode. It tracked my face really well. What I liked is this focus motion. It was so natural. There was almost no weird, rapid focus transition. But yeah, in other words, it's a little slow. I don't know, maybe, you know, I got used to Lumix and Sony's autofocus, so I felt slow compared to them. Especially when you quickly move the camera back and forth, it took a little time to give me the clean focus, even though it was not a difficult focusing situation. About image stabilization, so close. The stabilization performance is great when it comes to only the ability to reduce the shake pretty strong. But that is only when it's not rough. There are 3 modes: normal IS, electronic IS, and electronic IS high. So normal IS is good already. There was a shake because my car is not good at providing the smooth and stable ride. But like this, it was smooth. Same situation with electronic IS mode. Yeah, better than the normal mode. We can see the camera is moving during this ride, but it's also clear the shake was reduced. So this is electronic IS high mode. So we can see it's trying so hard to reduce the shake, but because of it, sometimes it looks a little weird, like when there's a quick camera motion. Not that bad, but not that accurate and natural. And when it's super rough, like running, it seems that this electronic IS can't handle it well. Ladies and gentlemen, the time finally has come. Photography performance. Canon, aka the legendary photography camera. We all know that, right? And now I love shooting photos with this camera. Okay, let me show you guys a little sneak peek of comparison R6 Mark II, S5IIX. Look how deep Canon is. The color, gradation, depiction, nothing is like Canon. I also went a little trip with my family, for my son's ritual, and I was using this camera for photos, but it was crazy. Photography response was so fast. I mean, way faster than video. Like a hold, shutter, check, hold, shutter, check. And of course, the photo quality is amazing. And also, it got high-speed continuous shooting mode, and it never got slow, even though I, kept pressing the shutter button like. Now I can understand why professional photographers are using Canon cameras. The best case scenario, using Lumix S5IIX for video and using Canon R series for photo. The dream. Okay, this is it. How was it? Me using and reviewing Canon cameras. But absolutely, it gave me the new perspective and fresh creative wind. And right now I'm working on the comparison video, S5IIX and R6 Mark II, so stay tuned for that. So like this, I'm gonna try many other cameras like now I'm interested in Canon R5, R7, R8, the Lumix G series, and of course Nikon cameras too. So if you got any requests, please let me know in the comment below. If the empire's prosperity has been lasting for many decades, there must be the reason. The reason that we have to accept. Sometimes the classic wins, but sometimes the revolution happens. Is it rebellion? No, sir, it's not rebellion. It's the revolution. Okay, this is it. If you have any questions, just shoot me anytime, anywhere. And if you like this video, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe. And I will see you in the next interesting, fantastic, great video. じゃあまた。